Hello and welcome back to Diet Soda, Popcorn, and a Weighted Blanket. I am so glad you found my little corner of the internet, and I really hope you like it here. For today's episode, I want to talk about the movie Hoppers. Now, I know I'm a little late to the party, but I couldn't watch it when it came out in the theaters, and it just released on the OTT platform. It's on Hotstar if anyone's interested. Geo Hotstar, sorry. And I watched it and I love it. I loved it so much. I didn't think I would like it like initially in the movie. I think I was a little disconnected, but as I kept watching, it just sucked me in and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now I will be discussing the movie not as at a review capacity, but mostly just my thoughts and feelings about it with no like a real critical point of view, just like exploring the story and how I perceived it. So there will be spoilers up ahead. So in case you've not watched it and you don't want spoilers, hold on, watch the movie and then come back to this podcast. Now, for context, there is this girl, Mabel, and she has been raised by her grandmother. She has parents. It's not like she doesn't have parents, which is why, but like she loves her grandmother. Her grandmother is so the movie starts with Mabel doing something for the greater good in her head, but it's misplaced. And then she gets like her mom has to go to school to take her. There's like a whole like she has to be disciplined. So school kind of is not on board with what she was doing. She did whatever she did in school. And then the mother has to go to work, so she drops her off at the grandmom's place. Now, obviously, she's very upset because in her head, what she was doing was the right thing. So her grandmother just takes her to this little glade. It's a very beautiful place, and then she just sits on a rock and she calls her, and they both sit, and she's like, "Calm down, stay quiet, and just take it all in." She takes it all in, and after a couple of minutes of staying quiet, they start seeing all the wildlife that lives there, particularly the beaver who's made a dam, and the deers, all kinds of animals are there, and they really enjoy just sitting there and taking it all in. And then the grandmother tells her that it's harder to be this angry or this upset when you feel like like you're a part of something so big. It just makes you grateful, makes you happier. And I felt that was so beautiful and something that again is a healthy reminder for you to go and touch some grass. So it's when I'm recording this episode, it's 5:30 a.m. currently, and I for after like a really long time, I went up to my terrace and like I didn't watch the sunrise, but it's just slightly after sunrise, and I just saw clouds and trees. It was just me, the breeze, some birds, and it was just so serene. I am not a nature person, but I've had like a slightly like one of those weeks, right? The crappy ones. I couldn't record like an episode on time, which is why this episode got delayed by 2 days. But going out and just looking at the sky for a couple of minutes, not a couple, I think I was out there for a few. It just refueled me, I feel. And then this is something that I've tapped into just now for myself, like personally. I know nature does this to you, nature does this to a lot of people. That is why people hike and go on nature walks or just watch the sunrise, the sunset, everything. I just personally have never been interested in all of that, but I think this was my first time when I actually felt the shift in my mood and my energy. So anywho, a very healthy reminder for me, and I think I want to do this more often. It's been so hot as well, right? Like it's summer here, and it's so hot that past 8 a.m. you can't go outside because it's just so sunny. A good thing is that I am a night owl and I am up at all kinds of weird hours. So I didn't wake up for it. I was already up. Good use of my time though, for sure. Anywho, so then Mabel starts growing up, and the grandmother and Mabel, they keep nurturing the glade. They try to do their part in helping nature and giving back, and taking like obviously they feel that because they enjoy it so much they want to keep it, and that's also how these guys bond to a point where Mabel's parents are moving from the city, and now it's been a few years. The grandmom's kind of old, not kind of old. I mean, she's not doing very well. Her age has caught up to her, and Mabel decides to stay back with the grandmother. The grandmother passes on, and we see that Mabel is now fighting extremely hard, almost obsessively, with the mayor to not destroy the glade in order to, construct like a flyover or a bridge or like a belt is what they call it. I'm really bad with infrastructure, so like I apologize if I get like a few terms wrong here and there. I think that the messing up of terms is not just limited to infrastructure. I could be probably messing up a lot of terms, a lot of vocabulary, but like let's just roll with it. So now she's fighting, she's trying to, just do anything to keep the glade the place it is. But the animals have left, and she isn't understanding how that happened or why that happened. And that's what the movie generally explores. Like after that point, it's just them figuring out a way of them, like the other characters. If I talk too much, I have already spoken too much. So basically, she somehow finds herself to be a beaver, and she finds the animals of the city, and she realizes that there's these electronic poles which are in shape of a tree, and they're making a noise that makes the animals leave, which is not audible to the human ear. And then they all of them team up and they find the kings and queens of different animal groups. Like there's an insect king, there's a snake, reptilian, yeah, I think that's a snake king, there's an amphibian king, there's a fish queen, there's also an insect queen. A lot of these, they call it the council. So the council comes together and decides to do something about the situation. The movie goes on from there. But there's a point in the movie where Mabel's kind of losing all hope. She's like, what the hell? What do I do? She's frustrated. She's angry. She feels helpless. And I think at the root of it, she was just grieving. And the helplessness and the failure, just all those feelings together, just, became earth shattering for her. Also, she's not alone. She has this entire team of now two beavers, one some sort of lizard, and a bear. And she's having this meltdown breakdown situation. And one of the beavers, his name is King George, he's one of my favorite characters from the movie. He just hugs her, as simple as a hug, and he says it's a very tight, it's a very personal hug, and he tells her that she's not alone. And it centers her. And I just got reminded that even when you're at like a polar end of your emotional spectrum, something very small, something very, cliche can just help you. It helps you in a way that you don't understand, because in your head, all your feelings are so complex and so hard to deal with. And nothing's changed, right? Like the hug isn't really changing anything, but it just recentering you. It's taking to you to a place where the situation is whatever the situation is, but your emotions are not burdening you anymore. And it just, I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Side note, I know I can get very incoherent in places, especially because I use a lot of like and stuff like that. Sorry about that. I'm gonna get better. Anywho, back to the movie. Obviously, they find a way to fix it because it's one of those movies with a happy ending. In the like, so obviously she can't be a beaver for the rest of her life, so she becomes human again. But she still loves George and everyone, all the animals. She can't communicate with them, but she finds a way to spend time with George and somehow have some sort of like communication that's not very clear, but it's all she needs. One of the most wholesome movies which feel like a cup of hot chocolate like during winter. It's that movie, it's that good. I think anyone who's not seen it, watch it, like run and watch it. It's just that good. Another thing, when she finds out that these animals are now like living in very closed, I want to say closed quarters, is a very small space for them where a lot of animals, like more animals than it can accommodate, are trying to survive because there's no other place to go to. When she finds George, George is the mammal king. So when she finds him, she tells him that this and this has happened, and what do we like? I'm new here and all. And he says, yeah, all animals are welcome here, beavers and deers and ants and lizards and humans, all of them are welcome. And Mabel tells him that you do realize that the reason why you no longer have homes is because of humans. And for him, everything is just such like a fact that we've got the backs of everybody. It can be a human, it can be an ant, it can be a beaver or a bear or like a fish. And he's like, I want to know everyone's name. And he's had his very He's had his own internal journey where his father didn't think he was good enough to be king. But that's not explored very much. Ultimately, he just finds himself to be the king of mammals, who's just trying to do the right thing, who's trying to make sure everyone has a place to be and everyone has food to eat, and he's amazing. He is a breath of fresh air for Mabel and for me, honestly. Just, you sometimes you're just like we're on threat at all times, right? We don't trust a lot of people. By we, I mean at least me and people around me. They have trouble trusting new people and trusting someone who's asking for help. Like, do they really need it? Do they not need it? And yes, all of those concerns are very valid, but sometimes you can be overcautious, right? And it's a good way. Like when you watch a movie like this, you can catch yourself when you're being a little paranoid. Obviously, your fear is not wrong, because there are cases where people are made fools out of just because they're kind and caring. So you shield yourself, right? You build very high walls, and that's what you're doing. And then, but that also isolates you. And then you watch a movie like this, and it helps you open up a little bit. You're still cautious, obviously, but maybe you're just not closed off. I really liked it. There were so many themes the movie explored about grief, about obsession, about doing the right thing no matter what, about the fact that almost all people are good. There's goodness deep inside. And for like there was one character who doesn't find, like, we don't get deep enough to find his goodness, but it works on the assumption that everyone has good in them, and it's a very positive way of looking at the world. It helps you, I feel. Like, don't feel like everyone's good enough that you can trust all, like, everyone, but don't lose faith that absolutely nobody is trustworthy, which is something I catch myself doing a lot, especially these days. Healthy reminders. I really enjoyed the movie and I hope you watch it too if you haven't already. If you did, let me know what you felt about it, what part of the movie you liked the most. You can DM me on Instagram or leave a comment down on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere. My Instagram is called DSP82WB. I post on Spotify and Apple podcasts every week at 4 p.m., every Wednesday at 4 p.m. This week's episode got delayed by 2 days. That's not going to be a common practice. You're going to find episodes published by Wednesday at 4. I think that's it. If you like the episode, do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, subscribing to the podcast. I mean, following the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and following me on Instagram. Leave me a comment, let me know, send me a DM. It can be about the quality, like it can be about criticism about the pod, or just your views about the movie, what you felt, what you liked, what you didn't like, everything. I'm happy to hear it, and I would love to chat with any of you. I think that's all for today's episode. If you liked this episode, do consider tuning in next week as well. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.